Hey, everybody. No, it's a real privilege to be here. I know my dad has been trying to get me to do something like this for a long time, and I've been putting it off for a long time, but there's really no better place to do this around here than Venue on Main. It's a really special place, and I think there's a decent number of people. How many of you are here for the first time? Maybe. Hopefully it won't be the last. This place is freaking awesome. And for supporting original music and songwriters, there's no other place around here that does anything like what Venue does. So whenever I finally caved into doing this, I didn't have any other place in mind. So it's a real privilege. Thank you, Bill and Connie, and just thank you all so much for being here. This one, I started writing at one point, and that's another insight into my songwriting process, is that I will start, get like a verse and a chorus, don't do anything for like 3 months, and then come back to it and just kind of chip away at it and see what sticks. This one, I had the concept in mind, and I actually finished it during my lunch break whenever I was subbing like 2 years ago, and so I was on Google Docs and just typing away. But I don't know, a lot of songs that I write are about kind of, personal things I think everybody can get behind. My voice lends itself to country, but I don't think that my songs necessarily check a lot of the country boxes, but it feels personal to me. This one's called What Could Have Been. Hope you like it. For as long as I remember, it's been just one question with an open end. Left behind with expectations and those sideways steps I never did amend. The pages of my past and the everlasting present on which it seems that everything depends. Always begging that I cease to pretend not to care what could have been. Well, I reached my destination where time rests with no more letters left to pen. And that calling curtain closes with the stage left never to be seen again. Will my life be a light lingers on throughout the night, something of substance someone can understand. Just another fleeting flash in the pan, in spite of all that could have been. Live in a dream till you wake up in the morning. Try to make a change, but you can't snag a dime, and there's no one else to blame. Things stay the same. So you try to kill the pain, but just kill time. If there's a flicker at the end of that tunnel, losing's not the only thing I'll win. I hope that one day, if I make it to my grave, my headstone won't have to say what could have been. Well, there's plenty that I'd change, but I'd never trade the time I chose to spend. All the loved ones in my life that paid so many priceless dividends. So if I'm ever laid to rest on my laurels, don't forget about the brother, son, and hopefully the friend. I'll be fine if that's the gist, not a list of all the things that could have been. Till then it's living a dream till you wake up in the morning. Try to make a change, you can't snag a dime, and there's no one else to blame. Things stay the same, so you try to kill the pain, but just kill time. If there's a flicker at the end of that tunnel, losing's not the only thing I'll win. I hope that one day, if I make it to my grave, my headstone won't have to say what could have been. Well, I hope and I pray that when I see that day, Lord above won't have to say what could have been. Thank you. This one is a little more recent. By recent, I mean like probably a year ago. I haven't been very prolific as of late, but that's okay. I have one that I finished a couple weeks ago in the second set, so woohoo, you got something to look forward to. But this one's kind of like the more positive version of what could have been. I turned 26 last month, and I'm the oldest I've ever been, so I'm working on, starting to feel a little older. And it's one of those, you look back and think, oh, I could have done all this, but there's a lot of time, regardless of how old you are, to do some good stuff. So this one's called Waiting on My Glory Days. In the pages of my youth, wasn't most likely to succeed. I didn't have some 5-year plan. I didn't have a snowball's chance to dance with a homecoming queen. Seems to be the best there is. The folks around here's ain't afraid. But in the middle of the pack, there's still wind behind our backs for all the good that ain't yet came. I'm waiting on my glory days. I'm gonna save the best for last. I'd like to think my prime's getting closer all the time, a little further from my past. All the best years of my life, a few tomorrows still away. Man, it's good to be alive. Just wait till I've arrived. I'm waiting on my glory days. I can see the people now, counting trophies in the case. A little duller in their shine, a little dustier with time, a few more lines across their face. Everybody reaching for a distant life behind the glass. More than ever, it's so clear when I look into that mirror, the man I see ain't all that bad. I'm waiting on my glory days. I'm gonna save the best for last. I'd like to think my prime's getting closer all the time, a little further from my past. All the best years of my life, a few tomorrows still away. Man, it's good to be alive. Just wait till I've arrived. I'm waiting on my glory days. All the best years of my life, a few tomorrows still away. Man, it's good to be alive. Just wait till I've arrived. I'm waiting on my glory days. Thank you all so much. This one, as I stated before, I'm not very prolific, and so I respond well to being prompted, and I'm part of this online community for American Songwriter magazine. And so every week they put out a different prompt, and for a couple weeks I was sticking to it pretty well, and then that faded very quickly. But one of the prompts was about writing a song about a street that you were on and like wanting to leave and things like that. And this one is kind of that. And this one does feel a bit like something you would hear like Nashville or something by musicians in general because a lot of times people write about disdain for their hometown. I love my hometown, but sometimes it's just a good exercise, and it's one of those where a lot of times songwriters make it if other people record their songs. So if I write something that someone else wants to record, that's awesome. I get a lot of the money and not a lot of risk, so that works for me. But it's called Across State Lines, and it does incorporate some things about where I live. I live between two cemeteries, which is good every Halloween. Trick-or-treaters don't come by, but I hope you like it. I've had highways as my driveway and rebar for my roots, and neighbors buried 6 feet underground. But I'm alive and well, standing miles high over a hill. But I know someday I'll leave this old town. Stagnation's thin my patience, work's worn through my boots, but my soul's intact and feeling fine. 'Cause every step I'm taking is one less worth forsaking, one closer to a life across state lines. My spirit's set for flying, but way too young for dying, despite the thoughts that roll across my mind. Someday I'll be delivered and cross that muddy river, the hope that waits for me across state lines. Situations, obligations, trying to keep me pinned, bloodlines burning into ties that bind. But I'm through with the bleeding, the lying and mistreating. I'm making my escape across state lines. My spirit's set for flying, but way too young for dying, despite the thoughts that roll across my mind. Someday I'll be delivered and cross that muddy river, the hope that waits for me across state lines. Someday I'll be delivered and cross that muddy river, the hope that waits for me across state lines. Thank you. This one, oh geez, I don't even know when I started writing this one. Honestly, don't know when I finished writing it. It was at least before 2021. I'm not a very vocal person, whether it's politically or socially or things like that. But one thing that does frustrate me is oftentimes, at least personally, I allow myself to be easily swayed by, media that's designed to profit off of people being angry at each other. And I think a lot of times we lose sight of the important things, which is our friends and our family, our communities, and how we treat people. And that's all I have to say about that. But this one's called Illusion of Love. I hope you like it. I've seen an illusion of love, shackled by terms and conditions, changing positions and conclusions drawn, divisions of falsehood and truth. I've waded the waters and waited for answers that have yet to be written.
in the immoral fiber that forges the bonds that keep me so separate from you. But as time passes by to the coming divide, I wonder just where we're going from here. We're so often ordered to open our eyes, but when do we open our ears to the ignorant blisses, the passionate fashions, and other original sins? So lost in the noise that we can't hear the voice from within. I've seen the pollution of love shadowed by selfish indifference, anchored in anger and caught in a cause contingent on impending doom. I've seen loved ones march with the broadest of brushes, while the forgotten art of forgiveness cracks on the canvas that hangs in the dark, where daisy-chained dandelions bloom. But as time takes the side of the coming divide, I wonder just where we're going from here. We're so often ordered to open our eyes, but when do we open our ears? Is this ignorant bliss just a passionate fashion, or another original sin? So lost in the noise that we can't hear the voice from within. So lost in the noise that we can't hear the voice from within.
Thank you. All right, let's lighten it up a little bit. This one, I wrote, probably 2 years ago. Oh man, look what the cat drug in. Look at that guy. But I was feeling kind of sorry for myself. I wasn't booking a ton of gigs and just didn't feel very productive. And so what kind of sparked it though is I had a gig lined up that I was really excited about, and then someone who was a friend of mine came in and kind of snaked it from me, but that's all right. And so rather than sit here and wallow because that's just too tempting, I decided to write a song kind of making fun of my situation. And it's one of my favorites. It's a pretty good time. And whenever I went to release my album last year, this was the first single that we put out, and it was just a lot of fun to make, and so I hope you like it. It's called Humble Pie.
If you think you're owed more than you've got, and you don't seem to see you've got a lot, when you tell the truth less than you lie, dig yourself a spoon of humble pie. If you count your blessings as a curse, and your German hometown's just the worst, when natural beauty hurts your eye, you're just desserts a humble pie. 'Cause when life kicks its last leg, you get locked down to peg and never understand the reason why you make it to your feet and love still tastes so sweet. You thank me for your trade, your humble pie. never admit defeat. But your life still feels so incomplete. When a fall from grace bruises your pride, just stuff your face with humble pie. If it feels like you can't get ahead, 'cause everybody else has crapped your bed. If it seems hope spring just ripples by, have another nibble humble pie. 'Cause when life kicks its last leg, you get locked down the peg and never understand the reason why you make it to your feet and love still tastes so sweet. You'll think before you trade your humble pie. If it seems you've lost the lease, that squeaking wheel needs grease. Just fill it with a piece of humble pie. Thank you. I'm gonna take a slight tuning break. Oh, dang it. Oh man, that was a big oversight. I forgot my capo. It's in my backpack, which is over there. I don't know if someone feels brave. There's a backpack kind of tucked in that corner somewhere. Oh man, you are, yes. All right. There we go. Here's our comedy bit of the show. Thank you so much, Brett. Put your hands together for Brett, everybody. Saving the show. We can edit that later. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's tune up real quick. There we go. So this song I wrote, it's probably 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. I lost two of my great uncles. One of them actually I think was 3 years ago today. Is that right? 2 years ago today. Okay. So that means the song is a little less than 2 years old. And then right after that, it was a few months later, I lost another one of my great uncles, who was a really, really special guy. And so whenever I was at my Uncle Elmer's funeral, he had a letter that he had written after his wife had passed away. And it was just really, really touching, and it was very just aware of how life was going to be different. And so I kind of took that as inspiration as I started working on this. And then whenever my Uncle Bob passed away, it was kind of the icing on the cake. And so it's a little somber, but I think it has a little bit of hope in it also. It's called When I'm Dead and Gone. When I'm dead and gone, put my ashes in the ground. Turn me to the dust I used to be. As long as you're standing, no, I'll never let you down. So when I'm dead and gone, put my ashes in the ground. And when I'm dead and gone, give my ashes to the wind. Set this body like my spirit into flight. If this life is good, then it's surely bound to end. So when I'm dead and gone, give my ashes to the wind.
This life is but a vapor, a gentle final breath, a simple song that echoes in the air. But the greatest comfort of passing from this world is knowing that I had you standing there. So when I'm dead and gone, don't expect me to return. It's to a better place that I have left. The bottom of that urn is the only place I'm burned. So when I'm dead and gone, don't expect me to return. The bottom of that urn is the only place I'm burned. So when I'm dead and gone, don't expect me to return. Thank you.
This one, the origin for this is it was getting really hot during the summer, and we don't have central air. We have a very, very well-organized system of window units. And so it was getting hot. It was like, I think, probably 1 or 2 in the morning. And we store our window units in the basement, and they're not the lightest, but we were carrying it up, and I was thinking about it back in the day whenever, it'd probably help if I talked in the microphone, back in the day whenever, people didn't have air conditioning, and the best thing they could do is crack a window or open up a screen door or something like that. And so I was thinking about, there's a lot of differences between generations, just a lot of times based on technology and things like that. And there's always that kind of joke about how people's parents are like, oh man, you don't have it rough. I had to walk through like 2 feet of snow every day to school. We got about 2 inches today, so we got some practice. But I didn't have the unfortunately, I didn't have either of my grandfathers around. And so I kind of took that little kernel and stretched it out into a song about how I think a grandfather would kind of comfort their grandson dealing with, turbulent times and things like that. And rather than, oh, I had it so much worse than you, it's, I had tough times, you have tough times, I made it through, you can make it through. And so that's what this one's about. It's called Always Enough.
Grandpa, what's this all about? They say this whole world's heading south. Dollar bills getting smaller every day. He said, oh son, don't you worry now. This ain't this dog's first time around. And I've learned some tricks along the way. So where we're bound, somewhere I've been. And if I think out loud, I'll remember when air conditioning came through the screen door. Sunday best was the best Dad could afford. Kept going, the going got tough. Yeah, I probably wanted more when I was 17, but money can't buy memory. Wasn't always much, but it was always enough. Yeah, when I was your age, we never saw the news. Just an old dirt road every day to school, and I walked each mile in someone else's shoes. Trust me, son, wasn't all that bad. So many good times we still had. And I know you've had your share of tough times too. Yeah, it may look stark when times get thin, but if I think real hard, I remember when air conditioning came through screen door. Sunday best was the best Dad could afford. Kept going, the going got tough. Yeah, I probably wanted more when I was 17, but money can't buy memory. Wasn't always much, but it was always enough. Yeah, times like these come and go. Adversity ebbs and flows. Seems like you'll never make it out above the waves. But if you need solid ground, just take a quick look around at the ones you love, and you'll always be safe. So when life gets tight, times get thin, just close your eyes and you'll remember when air conditioning came through screen door. Sunday best was the best Dad could afford. Kept going, the going got tough. Yeah, I probably wanted more when I was 17, but money can't buy memory. Wasn't always much, but it was always enough. Yeah, I probably wanted more when I was 17, but money can't buy memory. Wasn't always much, but it was always enough. It wasn't always much, but it was always enough. Thank you.
All right, after that little uplifting number, this one, I started as listen to the audiobook for this book written by Brian Darius called The Theater of War, and it was talking about how Greek tragedy is how useful it is for going through and helping soldiers processing their trauma after they come back from overseas. And then after that, I kind of went down the rabbit hole watching YouTube videos of different soldiers giving their story from whenever they're in Vietnam and things like that. And it's one of those, I think the experience of soldiers is often overlooked, unfortunately. But this one kind of deals with, especially it seems like around Vietnam. My dad served Vietnam era, so right at the end. And he talked about a lot of the experiences of guys that he served with, being out in the field and then getting a letter and your wife or your girlfriend was gone, or people that loved you all of a sudden were not a big fan of you. And so this kind of deals with that and pours a little bit of extra salt on the wound. And so just a quick preface, in the military, Jody is the name that's given to the person who tries to destroy your relationship while you're out and serving. And so that's just a quick bit of vocabulary just to help process. So this one's called Jody's in the Family Tree.
They swore lifelong devotion before the great I am. Teardrops dripping on a diamond ring. Then he journeyed across the ocean, fight for Uncle Sam, and prove his love to Lady Liberty. A summer in the jungle can drive a man insane, always on the run from the VC. But the worst attack, a knife hid in his back, a secret life of infidelity. While you're shedding all your blood, sweat, and tears, your lady love is fighting her worst fears. While she's waiting on a letter saying you ain't coming home, folks close to home will keep her company. But don't worry about your baby, she's just missing in action. Her heart's gone absent without leave. But a bomb's gonna drop this Christmas, just you wait and see. 'Cause he don't know Jody's in the family tree. A word came through the wire about the escalation, along with the letter just for he. She wanted his attention, but truth she never mentioned. Seemed high time she'd set both them free. Dear John, the paper read, sure glad that you ain't dead. These months have changed us all so much, you see. But his ears were buzzing when he got to "It's your cousin." He found out Jody's in the family tree. So while you're shedding all your blood, sweat, and tears, your flesh and blood's become your worst fear. while you're sticking out your neck for the ones you love at home. She's necking with your uncle's progeny. But don't worry about your baby, she's just missing in action. Her heart's gone absent without leave. But a bomb's gonna drop this Christmas, yes, you wait and see. 'Cause he found out Jody's in the family tree. This godforsaken war has got a brand new enemy. 'Cause he found out Jody's in the family tree. Thank you. All right. This one is pretty old. I probably started this one like 5 or 6 years ago and then finished it, 3 or 4 years ago. And it's taken a lot of different forms over time. I put out a very, very crude demo CD whenever I first started gigging in 2021. And the arrangement on that was very different. I had a lot of drums that I programmed myself and electric guitars that didn't sound very great. But then whenever it came time to record it for real, Dan and Robert, who have been upstairs taking care of everything and getting me out on the interwebs, they did a whole lot to all the songs that I recorded to make them sound like the best version of themselves, and a lot of awesome session players. And this one, the arrangement changed a lot between the time that I recorded my demo and then ended up doing the album. I really got into Wilco, and this one borrows a lot from, they did a song called, Airline to Heaven, which was, the lyrics were written by Woody Guthrie, and then they put it to music, and so that arrangement definitely informed this one. So I hope you like it. It's called Shame, Shame, Shame. I've been the sinner and the saint, the painter and the pain, the joker and the thief. Known I am and I ain't, I can but I can't fall in the little league. I've loved and I've lost, I've served and I've bossed, the cost more than the pay. I've lived and I've lied, given love and I've tried, follows me every day. Oh, shame, 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 I'm so ashamed. No invitations to this guilty party, I'm the only one to blame. Oh, I know he who forgives, and I forgive myself. Oh, shame, 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 anyone else. I've tried to keep my conscience sad, but if you knew the half, you'd say that it's been seared. There's times when I'm alone, and the only thought's my own. I wish I could just disappear. I can't run and can't hide from the truth and the lie of all the mistakes that I made. No matter how I try, after all of this time, still I just can't seem to pay. Oh, shame, 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 I'm so ashamed. No invitations to this guilty party, I'm the only one to blame. Oh, I know he who forgives, and I forgive myself. Oh, shame, 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 and anyone else. I've learned a lesson or two in every mile in my shoes as I walk the hard way. Sometimes I win and I lose, sometimes I don't get to choose. Chips just fall where they may, but every bit of pay and every season change, for better or worse, by blessing or curse, be the person that I am today. Well, I've got some regrets, I'm willing to bet I ain't the only one who looks back in life and is sadly surprised. Some of the deeds that they've done may have tried to repent, that the pain won't relent, and the light at the tunnel's end's gone. But I know and I pray that we'll see the day when that darkness is turned into dawn. It's so long to shame, 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 shame. No more shame. No invitations to this guilty party. We're the only ones to blame. But I know He who forgives, and I'm trying to forgive myself. Oh, shame, 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 shame. Is anyone else? Oh, shame, 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 shame. Is anyone else? Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, I think we have about 3 songs left before the intermission. All right. And I know we're going for the listening room thing, but you feel free to, it's honestly kind of buggy up here whenever everybody's very quiet. I'm not used to that. So feel free to socialize moderately. If you get cross looks from other people, that's probably a good sign. There are a lot of educators in the room, so they'll let you know. This one is called If I Could Read Your Mind, and it's a kind of a pensive song. Just think, which the last song also was about, like, past mistakes and things like that, and this one is in a similar vein, but much more, what's the word? Supple, musically speaking. Probably wasn't the best word choice, but that's okay. I wrote this one very quickly, which happens on occasion, and I'm very glad when it does, so then I don't have to think about it. But I'm going to check my tuning just for a second because I have the capo on that someone was kindly enough to bring. All right. A quick story about this capo. This is, Talia makes it. This is a really, really cool capo, very expensive, and I would have never bought one for myself, but a good friend of mine, I did some production work for some songs that he was working on, and he bought it for me as a gift, and unfortunately we lost him last year around this time, and he was a very, very good man. And so every time I put this on, I get to think of him, which is never a bad thing. So this one's called If I Could Read Your Mind. I wish I could read your mind, what you think and what you're feeling in the moments that we meet throughout the day. What the lies keep hid inside from the truth so revealing, far above all of the things you do and say. If ignorance is bliss, this must be ecstasy, despite what curiosity or fear might portray. If I could read your mind, what you think and feel, I wouldn't have to wonder what you think about me. If I could read your mind, would the pages tell a story that's worth reading, or would it make me afraid? When I lay down my head, would the monster beneath my bed be the one that meets me in the mirror each day? If I vowed to take a stand, would you say that I'm a man in need of judgment for going astray? If I could read your mind, I'd probably stop, 'cause I think I'd be too worried what it really might say. Oh, I know the story can change. Only questions on which page. If I could read your mind, any moment placed in time, could you take me to the very last day? Where are you and where am I? Will the answer make me cry from joy or sadness at the way things hadn't played? Could I falsely claim my ignorance, beg for your forgiveness, or would it just be too late? I can't read your mind, but I guess that I can write it, so I'm gonna try to write it today. I can't read your mind, but I guess that I can write it, so I'm gonna try to write it today. Thank you.
All right, got to retune. Every musician's favorite song. E, A, D, G, B, E. All right. This one is, I don't even know where the actual idea came from. I remember when I started writing it, I was going through the Taco Bell drive-thru, and, you know, inspiration strikes at funny moments, and you just got to take advantage of it. But it's a song about a couple that's been together for a while and a little rough around the edges, but they kind of like it that way. It's in the vein of something like In Spite of Ourselves by John Prine and Iris DeMent. Maybe not as well executed, but it's a lot of fun. And it's called Sugar and Sand, and I think Gary John Gardner is in the back corner, and so this one goes out to you, buddy.
We met in a whirlwind a lifetime ago, hard finding a way back apart. Hard from refined and less than divine, joined at the hip and the heart. A time found taste, not worth much at face, two sides of an old ampersand. Abrasive to touch, no need for a crutch. Babe, we were sugar and sand. There's days that you've sure rubbed me wrong, but I've learned plenty, and there ain't a doubt that over time, like all sweetest wines, my rough edges slowly smoothed out. We're hard on each other, but softer as lovers, though some folks just can't understand how like birds of a feather, we're still stuck together. Babe, we're sugar and sand. Sugar and sand, like a bird in the hand, is worth two more wherever you look. You drive me insane, and I do the same. You know every trick in my book, but I wouldn't change a thing, though I can promise you ain't what I planned. But you're sweet to my strong, the right to my wrong. Babe, we're sugar and sand. Yeah, I heard about spice and everything nice, but ain't seen much of it from you. Ain't top of your class, but tender as glass, a window I like looking through. Yeah, you've got grit and moxie, you're still kind of foxy, though some folks just can't understand. Just messed up that line. But if life is a beach, then at least you're in reach. Babe, we're sugar and sand. Sugar and sand, like a bird in the hand, is worth two more wherever you look. You drive me insane, and I do the same. You know every trick in my book. But I wouldn't change a thing, though I can promise you ain't what I planned. Yeah, you're sweet to my strong, the right to my wrong. Babe, we're sugar and sand. Yeah, you're sweet to my strong, the tune in my song. Babe, we're sugar and sand.
Thank you. All right. So this will be the last song of the set, so get ready to stretch your legs and all that good stuff. This one, one of my favorite ones, and it was a very affirming experience. I got the start for this one. My family owns and operates a fishing lure, tackle, all that good stuff, manufacturing company. And so usually in the winter, like January, we work at the Collinsville fishing show. And this was, I think 5 years ago. And I was standing there trying to act like I knew anything about fishing tackle. But I'm not a fisherman, but my dad and my brother John, oh yeah, they're very good at it. But I don't know what I make up for my lack of fishing talent. My math skills, maybe, something like that. But I had this idea. I don't know exactly what sparked it, but I had this line and this story about a father and son going together through life, and I wrote it down. And it wasn't exactly an autobiographical song, but every song that I write, I want to be emotionally autobiographical, so where it may not be necessarily an experience that I had one-to-one, but it's definitely something that I've felt, and I've tried to communicate that. And so this one didn't borrow necessarily any direct experiences, but it pulled a lot from the wisdom that my dad's given me over the years, and so I'm going to dedicate this one to him. It's called Replay.
Like father, like son, they always say. You taught him how to live and how to pray. The moment he knew his first words. But even from an early age, he said, we all face decisions every day. The ones we make can make our whole world. So when word got around that a couple boys in town were getting drunk and busting headlights, he pulled his boy aside, looked him in the eye, and gave him a few words of advice. And he said, son, you better think real hard, because we don't just make choices, the choices make us, and sometimes there's things that we can't change. Everything we do has consequence, and how tomorrow brings depends on whatever we choose to do today. So son, you can go or you can stay, but this life don't get a replay. That talk passed with a little time, seemed to slip from a simple mind. Found himself in a world full of hurt. He thought he'd been in love before, but this time he knew for sure long distance never seemed to work. With his heart in his hands, he just couldn't understand how in the world he could let her slip away. Just like before, his dad knew for sure just what he needed to say. And he said, son, you better think real hard, because we don't just make choices, the choices make us. And sometimes there's things that we can't change. Everything we do has a consequence, and how tomorrow brings depends on whatever we choose to do today. So son, get her back or let her walk away. This life don't get a replay. Oh, the years pass by. That little girl, she became his wife. Time and again, even now just like then, his daddy's words helped him through life. Mama got tired and headed home. Dad was really on his own for the first time in over 45 years. Said his time was near the end. He didn't have a fear, he was content. That didn't stop a few tears. So when his son came through the door, the tears began to pour with all the memories they shared along the way. Looked his boy in the eye, said, son, you've done your time. I love you, but you don't have to stay. And he said, Dad, you better think real hard, because we don't just make choices, the choices make us. And sometimes there's things that we can't change. Everything we do has a consequence, and how tomorrow brings depends on whatever we choose to do today. So if you wanna go, I'll let you, but if you wanna stay, you bet I'll be there every step of the way until the very last day. 'Cause this life don't get a replay. This life don't get a replay.
Thank you all so much. Enjoy the break. Get up, visit, socialize. Head up to the bar. Emily's doing an awesome job and take care of you. Go through the food line, get some snacks, and I'll be bopping around to say hello. So thank you so much. Is that level okay, Dan?
All right, so thanks for sticking around. I'm going to go ahead and open up with this one. This is the only Christmas song I've written, but it's a locally inspired. I think I wrote it and recorded it a little over 2 years ago. Robert did all the mixing and stuff on it to make it sound good, but it's very much like pulls from the fountain and all the traditions going around there. It's called Christmas in a Small Town. I hope you like it.
Bells and whistles are blown, trolley's been rolling since 2. And I'm looking to spend a few dollars on something deserving of you. They're caroling around the fountain, such a joyful sound. Yeah, there's something about Christmas in a small town. That old sun keeps shining, and the vendors are making hay. Baby Jesus is hiding, he'll be back on Christmas Day. Jolly old Saint Nick has folks coming from miles around. Yeah, there's something about Christmas in a small town. Everyone smiles a little brighter. Close friends ain't so far away. Tomorrow it might snow half a foot or higher. There's a bluebird sky today. We remember the reason when we pass that nativity scene. Fir trees go out of season, but the memory's evergreen. Oh, when we're all together, no better feelings found. Yeah, there's something about Christmas in a small town. Everyone smiles a little brighter. Close friends ain't so far away. Tomorrow it might snow half a foot or higher. There's a bluebird sky today. We remember the reason when we pass that nativity scene. Fir trees go out of season, but the memory's evergreen. Oh, when we're all together, no better feelings found. Yeah, there's something about Christmas in a small town. Yeah, there's something about Christmas in a small town. Thank you all.
added duplicates. I had a song in the second set that was already in the first set. All right, this one I wrote, I think February of last year, maybe late January. So I was gigging, everything was going great. I had a really long week. I decided to go to every open mic I could find, and then I sat in with my cousin that Friday, and then I played a really late gig on that Saturday. It was cold outside. I ended up losing my voice. It was the first time that ever happened. I was scared to death. And so it set me back. It kind of threw me for a loop for a bit. And so this was a song that I wrote as kind of an affirmation that I could still sing, and I still had something worth singing, hopefully. And so it's called I've Got a Voice.
I've got a voice, a wind with infinite direction, free of any man's selection, unforced choice. I've got song, thoughts in sympathetic motion, a journey through the oceans, minutes long. When there's silence, I can speak. And even when the water's calm, somewhere there's a creek that runs to meet the dawn. I don't ever have to worry, I'm never too far gone. With every breath that leaves, I know my voice will carry on. And I've got an ear to lend, can't be blinded by ambition, always pays a great commission when I hear there's a sound, old words spoken by my father, a promise that was born on solid ground. And in the silence he still speaks, and even when the water's calm, somewhere there's a creek that runs to meet the dawn. I don't ever have to worry, he's never too far gone. 'Cause with every breath that leaves, I know his voice will carry on. When it's silent, I can speak. And even when the water's calm, somewhere there's a creek that runs to meet the dawn. I don't ever have to worry, it's never too far gone. 'Cause with every breath that leaves, I know my voice will carry on. My voice will carry on. Thank you. Just a quick, I have a song that requires a capo, so I'm gonna grab that. Okay, but just a quick hello to everybody who's watching online. I know there are some people who are planning on being here who couldn't make it, whether it's weren't feeling the best or roads were a little rough where you were. So I just want to say hello. So glad that you could watch online, and anybody else who's just tuning in, thanks for coming. So, this one I wrote in 2016, and I was in high school, and I was in my first relationship, and it was at the stage where I was like, I think I love you, but I don't know if it's okay to say that, and so I wrote this song, and the first time I ever played it was in the listening room at Belleville West, and then I don't know, it's kind of stuck with me. The relationship has since ended, but the song lives on. And so I really like this one. I think a lot of other people have said they liked it. I had the privilege of performing it at my brother and my sister-in-law at their wedding. It was the first song they danced to, which was really cool. So I hope you like it. It's called Spending Time With You. I'm going to adjust my capo because I got a little bit of a buzz. Boy, yikes. That first fret is always the hard time for capos.
is not what you anticipate. Okay, we'll figure it out.
The sweet sound of your voice, I like to think that I could tell you no, but I don't have a choice. The best part of my day, when you kiss me by the car and all life's worries fade away. I know it might sound cliche to go ahead and tell you those 3 words that we all long to say, but deep down I know it's true. And that's why I want to take some time to tell you how I feel about spending time with you. It's what I do best, it's true. Yes, I would sure take you anytime, anywhere, above the rest, only you. And if you want me to, I'd give everything I have and nothing less just for you, because spending time with you, it's what I do best. Beyond perfect smile, even when I'm running late, I still want to stay a while, walking with you in the fall, saying I'm cold so that I get to hold your hand in the hall. I know it might sound cliche to go ahead and tell you those 3 words that we all long to say, but deep down I know it's true. And that's why I hope you realize just how much I love spending time with you. It's what I do best, it's true. Yes, I would sure take you anytime, anywhere, above the rest, only you. And if you want me to, I'd give everything I have, nothing less, just for you, because spending time with you, it's what I do best. So much more than I could say about how beautiful I know that you are, and how you made me feel this way. But in a song it'd be far too long, so I'd rather tell you every single day, yeah, that spending time with you, it's what I do best, it's true. Yes, I would sure take you anytime, anywhere, above the rest, only you. And if waiting is what I got to do, I thank God every day just for blessing me with you. 'Cause spending time with you, it's what I do best.
Thank you. All right, this one will be the other side of the coin. Same relationship, about a year and a half later. It ended, and I don't know, it was the first time that I ever had that happen, so I don't think it's possible for it to end well. I think all things considered, it was pretty amicable, but it really sucked. It was probably like a week or two after, I was very inspired, and I wrote this song, and I started with, because I was very bitter, And so I started with where I wanted to be, like accepting things, and then I worked backwards. And so I had the last verse written before the first verse, and we were setting up a tent in El Paso, Illinois, and I was typing it out on my old Kyocera phone, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then I got home. I had just started going to SWIC for the recording program, which Dan was in charge of at the time, and so I got myself this blue Yeti USB microphone, which is not exactly what you want whenever you're recording stuff at home, but I was like, oh yeah, this is cheap. And so I did that, and I recorded this demo, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I played it for my dad, and he wasn't expecting, or didn't know what to expect, and he was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. And so it was a very early affirmation of, hey, you might be able to write a song. So hope you like it. I like it a lot. I don't play it very often because it's kind of hard to sing, but you know what? We're going to go for it. It's called My Love Letter Goodbye.
Dear babe, where to start? You loved me left and broke my heart. Looking at someone I could not recognize. When those tears fell from my eyes, I thought I found a little disguise. But I got to find myself and realize that, babe, I know we're through. And I won't lie, I'm missing you. 'Cause it hurts for me to think that you're not mine. You know I like to cling to hope, but I guess that's all you wrote. So I'll find a better way to waste my time. Well, it's safe to say I'm jaded, but it seems like you're elated. Finally living how you want, no compromise. I know they say that love is blind, and I never saw the signs. But looking back, I guess I'm not surprised. And babe, I know we're through, and I won't lie, I think about you. But it sure don't do me good to sit and pine. You know I like to cling to hope, but I guess that's all she wrote. So I'll find a different way to spend my time. Laugh, some things aren't meant to be, and it hurts to say that's you and me. It might sound cliche, but I'll agree. If you love someone, you better set them free. Well, I hope finds you well, and I mean that if you can tell. To be honest, so much pain was just my pride. And if I'm gonna tell the truth, I can't even blame you too. It's not your fault that we live different lives. And babe, I know we're through, and I won't lie, I think about you. But it sure don't do me good to sit and pine. You know I like to cling to hope, but I guess that's all she wrote. So I found a little different way to spend my time. You know I like to cling to hope, but I guess that's all she wrote. So consider this my love letter goodbye.
Thank you. All right, this one really doesn't have any emotional attachment to it. I was responding to another prompt on American Songwriter, their online forum, and so the prompt was to write a song from a perspective that wasn't your own, and so I decided to write one from the point of view of a dollar bill. It's called Washington's Lament. So I tried to fit in as many money puns as I could, see if you can find all of them.
Well, I've been around this world a time or two, shook the hand of noblemen and tramps, been coveted, forgotten, irreplaceable and rotten, worth my weight in gold and less than stamps. Born to the fields where cotton glows, among the pines that catch the snow, or at the root of evil, some folks say. No telling where I'm from, only so will I become what keeps them coming after me these days. My mind's withering, falling more apart each minute, and self-worth's on an infinite descent. You can try your best to save me, set me up with all your friends, but it won't be much longer till I'm spent. I've seen the middle of the big machine, been framed and busted out 100 times, surviving through the fire, greeted cheating thieves and liars, made lots of friends I had to leave behind. Once held in high regard, closely to a woman's heart, but only obsolescence waits in store. Another day, another swipe at the fabric of my life, cost it ain't worth counting anymore. My mind's withering, falling more apart each minute, and self-worth's on an infinite descent. You can try your best to save me, set me up with all your friends, but it won't be much longer till I'm spent. Yeah, my mind's withering, falling more apart each minute, and each day is one more too late to repent. You can try your best to save me, set me up with all your friends, but it won't be much longer till I'm spent. You can try your best to save me, set me up with all your friends, but that'd be just one page in Washington's Lament.
Thank you. I realized there weren't actually that many puns, just references to things that is more like a double entendre that could serve for a dollar or a person. It was very important for me to rectify that. All right, this one is a little bit heavier, emotionally speaking. Instrumentally, it's quite lilting, but the genesis for this song is very peculiar. So one of my favorite summer pastimes is mowing grass, and no, I will not mow yours, but I've had plenty of offers. And so I was mowing at my brother and my sister-in-law at their house, and I am very scared of snakes. Some people are scared of spiders or wasps or other things like that, but snakes frighten me. And so I was mowing, and I saw a leaf that looked like the head of a snake, because it was like, snake-colored and had two spots that looked like eyes, and I was like, oh no, and then I realized it was a leaf. I was like, wow, that looks like it has eyes. And so based on that, I came up with this premise for a song. And so the role reversal of a very strange event into a serious premise. This one's kind of just about how sometimes we lose sight of the humanity in other people. And so if we can focus on that, then we can find some more humanity in ourselves. So it's called Eyes Like Mine. And this is the one that I finished a couple of weeks ago. It had been sitting on the shelf for a very long time, and I went over to Robert's house to jam, and I was like, oh man, I have this idea for the song. And he's like, we're not going to do anything else until you finish it. And so you have him to thank for it. It's very short, but I think it's impactful.
beggar called me on the street, a sorrow in his voice, a solemn plea for nothing but a dime. But spare nothing much, save pity and disgust, until I saw his tears and eyes like mine. A stranger took me on by the hand to pull me from harm's way. His words a language of a different kind. Though I couldn't understand the speech that he had planned, the words were loud and clear in eyes like mine. You can beat around the burning bush, hope for a different answer, pick the truth you're willing to believe. What you reap is what you've sown, what you teach is what you've known, but never set in stone is what you'll be. Now that boy of mine is growing, a branch off the old tree, and he'll look even more like me with time. But all I ever hope is by the time he's grown, he never learns to see with eyes like mine. May he never learn to see with eyes like mine. Thank you.
All right, we're going to lighten it up once again. This is one I wrote, yes, that would have been February of 2023. It was another American Songwriter prompt, and it was Valentine's Day weekend, and so they said, write a love song. And so I said, okay. So this one's called My Love, pretty on the nose and straightforward, but it's pretty fun. It's kind of about focusing on the things that you see in someone that maybe not everybody else does that endear you to them. And so I hope you like it.
It's some kind of silly, this feeling you stir inside of me when you talk at the TV, or the way that your brows twitch before you sneeze. It's some kind of special, the features so many never see. And when folks think they're lucky stars, I can't help but agree. My L-O-V, like red compliments the green. My L-O-V, like floss gets the space between. There's no better timing to say how I feel in times like this. No truth's worth hiding, and every promise is sealed by lips. There's no better reason to rise up before the sun each day. 'Cause I know when I ain't sleeping, my dreams aren't so far away. Dreams aren't so far away. No matter what life tries to pull, I know where I'll stay. My L-O-V, like red compliments the green. My L-O-V, like floss gets the space between. My L-O-V, pebbles up against the sea, my L-O-V-E, like fuzz against a Georgia peach, my love.
Thank you. And I also noticed that this was planned to go 6 to 8, and it is 8:28. I apologize. It was a lot longer winded than I anticipated, so if anybody needs to step out, I totally understand. But thank you so much for your patience and endurance. All right. I don't know how many songs we have left, but not a ton. This one is another sad one, sorry. I front-loaded the first set with more of the upbeat songs, and I got to the second set, I was like, oh no. So I apologize, but this one does mean a lot to me, and it's fairly recent, and I think it's one of the better songs that I've done. So we lost my grandma about a little over 10 years ago this year, and she was like the coolest person ever. And I was on Reddit, and I was in the songwriting subreddit, and they're like, hey, comment and I'll send you a prompt. And so I was like, okay, and they said a prompt. It said, write a song about inheriting a piano from a relative who's passed away. And so I was like, okay. My grandma did have like one of those old furniture electric organs that made all of the sounds that didn't actually sound like the instruments they were supposed to be, but was still fun and really, really terrorized parents because the kids would just go and bang on all the keys. Anybody ever do that? And so I tried to take that prompt and then wrap my relationship with my grandma and my feelings toward her into it, and then try to integrate as much piano verbiage and stuff. And so if you listen to it, you'll probably recognize some songs that a lot of people learn on piano. There were a bunch that were in my my first year piano book from SWIC. And then, I don't know, I just like it a lot, and I hope you will too. It's called Minor Keys.
I remember the last time I said goodbye. Westward bound and looking down through tears to read the signs. 15 a laughing away, not too much on my plate, but my mother's mother couldn't say the same. Caught between a bed frame and high heaven, drifting slowly in and out of dreams. Raised a naked hand toward that old upright piano and whispered, could you play a few for me? So I asked the tune and sat at middle C. She said it takes heart and soul to ease a burden, and blessed assurance to embrace what lies beyond. I hope hard times don't come around, but if they do, I promise I'll still be your sunshine when I'm gone. So boy, just take that old Wurlitzer with you, 'cause one day life will bring you to your knees, and in that time you'll find 88 odd reasons why so many major moments play out on them minor keys. But now, quarter centuries behind, fading dreams and memory scenes that never seem quite mine. The ones I love the most, the ones that always go, with only walls to echo back their name. Waiting in the wings beneath my window, a dear old friend in painted ebony, echoing the words I long thought I'd forgotten, dusting off the man I used to be. And I heard it takes heart and soul to ease a burden, and blessed assurance to embrace what lies beyond. I hope hard times don't come around, but if they do, I promise I'll still be your sunshine when I'm gone. So boys, take that old little with you, 'cause one day life will bring you to your knees, and in that time you'll find 88 odd reasons why so many major moments play out on their minor keys. I guess it's time I find those 88 reasons why so many major moments play out on their minor keys. Thank you.
All right, this one's in the same key. I'm sorry, so it'll sound a little repetitive. But this is also came from a prompt from American Songwriter. We were reading a book called, oh gosh, what's the title of the book? It was by Mary Gaucher. Very good book. And so one thing she talked about was she shared a lot of her life experiences and how different songs impacted her. So either songs that she wrote or songs that she listened to. And one of the things was just talking about how songs can heal people. And so I took that prompt and I put this one together. It's called Held Together by a Song.
Hanging along by a thread, by a line somebody said on an FM station long, long ago. Holding out for the chance I could ever shake their hand and let them know. In the middle of the deep, even where the titans weep, when it seemed the only option was to fold. Some chords in the truth said just enough to prove I had a soul. Yeah, I've had my share of teachers, but I learned more from two speakers on a back road in a rainy afternoon. And when my tank needs filling, I turn on Lowell's Willin' and keep moving to the rhythm of the tune. It may strike strange, but at home on the range could take a full-grown man and make him cry. But when you've been without, you've all but lost the doubt of reasons why. Bit to bit, day by day, when a word don't seem to say how I'm feeling. Just a melody in mind, and the walls I lie behind all start peeling. It only takes a minute when I've gone over the limit and exercised the right to be wrong. My world can be in pieces, but somehow held together by a song. Yeah, I felt the kiss of silence, a lust for self-reliance, the rugged lie that solitude believes. But vain isolations, only passing destinations on the gravel road that leads you to your knees. Awakened by a sound, driven high from the ground, a former self that I can still recall. Witness in the woods, proving even the most stubborn timber falls. Bit to bit, day by day, when a word don't seem to say how I'm feeling. Just a melody in mind, and the walls I lie behind all start peeling. It only takes a minute when I've gone over the limit and exercise the right to be wrong. My world can be in pieces, but somehow held together by a song. My world can be in pieces, somehow held together by a song.
Thank you. And then I just remembered the title of the book. It's Saved by a Song. Close enough. Ooh, struck a little too hard there. All right. This one is kind of a jokey song. Has a little part in the middle that may be a little strange, but that's okay. It's called Gratitude.
It ain't hot to be haughty, and it ain't cool to be cold. Pinch and live a penny when fortune favors the bold. You could reach the top of the world, the highest latitude, but you'll only feel low until you show some gratitude. Opportunity, it ain't knocking if you put up a fence. Change is hard to make without some common sense. No one ever blossomed before being a bud, and you'll never clean up your act by sticking it out in the mud. 'Cause it ain't hot to be haughty, and it ain't cool to be cold. Pinch and live every penny when fortune favors the bold. You could reach the top of the world, the highest latitude, but you'll only feel low until you show some gratitude. Some people spend their whole lives on the short side of the glass, miss the bigger picture with their head shoved up their backside. 'Cause it ain't hot to be haughty, and it ain't cool to be cold. Pinch and live every penny, but fortune favors the bold. You could reach the top of the world, the highest latitude, but you'll only feel low until you show some gratitude. No one's gotta know, so won't you show some gratitude?
I think we've got 2 left. Cool. Everybody having a good time so far? All right. I'm going to check tuning real quick just to be safe. Not perfect, but not bad. All right. So this one has a very local inspiration. So hanging right up there in the back, there is a shirt that says, "It all starts with a song," and a little bourbon. Well, it all begins with a song. I got ahead of myself, but that is the slogan of the Nashville Songwriters Association International. And so I took that and I turned it into a premise for a song. This one is probably like line to line the most autobiographical, because every experience that is talked about actually happened to me, which is pretty cool. Because a lot of my memories are very music-centric. So I remember going to my first concert to see Peter Frampton for Mother's Day in 2003 at the UMB Bank Pavilion, or Riverport, or whatever it's called now. It changes hands quite often. And then just listening to stuff on the radio, and you ever have that experience whenever like the station starts cutting out, whenever you're listening to a song that you like, that, and then just a whole bunch of, musical memories, so to speak. And so this one was definitely sparked from being here at Venue on Main, and so I usually play it just about every time I'm here. It's called Started With a Song. It's the sound of jet airliner on the drive home from vacation, rolling down a range, wouldn't dare to change the station, belting out the words we knew and humming all the ones that we got wrong. Throwing out a line, just praying it pull tight,
in the echo of Neil Diamond, singing about an August night. I don't know when those memories started. They all started with a song. Like old blood on Sunday, the brothers storming Monday, Christmas carols ringing that green bell. Sitting on my daddy's shoulders, looking back a little older. I guess I must have known what Frampton felt all along. Don't know when it started, but it all started with a song. Here in Hotel California, in the car on our first date, kissed you on the cheek, 'cause Mama wanted me to wait. But the first time I said I love you, no, it all started with that song. Like old blood on Sunday, the brothers storming Monday, Christmas carols ringing that green bell. Sitting on my daddy's shoulders, looking back a little older. I think I must have known what Frampton felt all along. Don't know when it started, but it all started with a song. 12 notes in my ears, like the months of all these years. They laid a path to this life I know. Through laughter and tears, times of joy and fear, they met me at my highs and all my lows. Like old blood on Sunday, the brothers storming Monday, Christmas carols ringing that green bell. Sitting on my daddy's shoulders, looking back a little older. I think I finally know what Frampton felt. Moments stamped inside my soul, like 45s of old. They'll keep playing in me till the day I'm gone. Don't know where my road is headed, but I know it all started with a song. Don't know where my road is headed, but it all started with a song.
Thank you so much. Okay, before I get to the last song of the evening, I want to make some acknowledgments and give thanks to people who deserve it because they are awesome. First off, Bill and Connie and Venue on Main for making this possible. I don't think there is any place, even remotely close, that we could have done something like this and done it at the level that it was. It's just such a cool place, and I hope you all come back whenever they have like some really, really high caliber talent. Like they have people from Nashville all the time, people who have won The Voice, people who have placed very highly on The Voice, and I get to open for people every once in a while. So, but it's a really awesome place, and I hope you all have had a good time, especially the people here for the first time. Hopefully, will not be the last. Emily, she did a great job tending bar, making sure that everybody had beverages and the like, and so make sure that you drop something in the jar back there before you head out, because she did a great job. Dan Merriman and Robert Scott up in the balcony taking care of all things audio and video. I have had the pleasure of knowing them for the past several years, and Dan is actually spending his birthday here doing this, so he's a top-notch guy. So, Lena McDonald taking pictures. She is awesome. That picture right there, she took pretty much anything that's on my social media stuff from the past couple years she's done. She is a very cool person, very talented, and probably got some pictures of you when you weren't looking. So I'll send them to you first, but then you may see them elsewhere. But she's awesome, and I really appreciate her doing this. My family, my mom and dad, they are the coolest. And, you know, whenever I started doing music, a lot of people especially a lot of parents have been like, why? You're not going to have very much money, and you're never going to leave my house. But they said, hey, keep doing it, and you can stay here as long as you like. So, but they're the best. And then John and Danny, my brother, and my sister-in-law, they helped with all the food and stuff. Mom and Dad helped get all the food here, whether in terms of paying for it, prepping it, doing all that, getting things plugged in, and not letting me pull my hair out. So they're awesome. And then put your hands together for yourselves for making this happen. It's not very often you get to do something like this and have people who are here to listen for you. It's a very humbling experience. I hope that I have delivered on your anticipation. Thank you. I should have, there you go. Perfect timing, Janine. You're awesome. It's like a lot of people, whenever I was crowdfunding the album, you funded that. You've had me play at your house. You've had me play for private parties and stuff like that. And you've helped keep me afloat for the past 3 years since I've been doing this. I should have announced this earlier whenever I wasn't making pouring my heart out to everybody. But there is merchandise available on this side. Some of the people in this room helped make it, which is very cool. There we go. You know who you are. And so it's on the side. I've got hats, and I want to keep everything relatively affordable. So beanies are $5, hats are $15, t-shirts are $10. I have 2 varieties of CD. They're not sitting out there now, but I will get those out post-haste. So there's a demo CD from 3 years ago that is really bad, but if you really want to embarrass me, it's there. It's $5, and then there's the one I put out last year, which Robert and Dan worked on extensively to make sound very cool, and that one will be $10. I think there are also some posters, which is just the album art, but if you want to decorate your wall or keep something in the corner, they're signed if that's ever worth anything. You've got a contingency in place. And so those are, I don't know, we'll do $5 on those. I don't know. They've been sitting on a shelf for the past year and a half. So help me out. I'll give it to you if you buy something else. But seriously, thank you all so much. And then as far as the shirts go and the hats go, if we run out or there aren't anything in your size, let me know and I can try to get that to you quickly. Because we could probably do that. But I say all that to say this. It has been a thrill and a pleasure, and this is really cool, very cool. And so this is the song that I've played at the end of pretty much every gig for the past 2 years. I wrote it whenever I was in kind of a rough spot personally. I started out after I graduated high school with a lot of ideas for how things were going to go, and that didn't happen. But that's okay. In retrospect, it was a good thing. But I was feeling really down on myself, felt like I had not measured up to everybody else's expectations for what I was going to do. And so I wrote this, and I sat on it for a long time. I was like, people are not going to want to hear this. And then I played it one time at an open mic, and Gary John Gardner came up and said, "Hey, man, great song. Are you okay?" And so I was like, yeah. And so he was the first one who said, yeah, this is a pretty decent song. And then Brian Buellhorn and Ian Warma, who they coached me in Little League football when I was 9 years old, or maybe 10. I still had long hair, but I was very short and pudgy. I was a striper, as they say. If you played Little League football, you know exactly what that is. But they started coming out really whenever I first started playing publicly, and then Brian had me over at his house, and I played this song for him. And then Ian's like, "Hey, I want to hear that song again. Can you send it to me?" And I sent it to him, and he's like, "Yeah, I listened to that," and I was just crying. And so ever since then, anytime he's anywhere, they pretty much always request this to be the last song. And because he's almost there all the time, it's pretty much become the de facto last song. So I hope you like it. It's called "When That Train Leaves the Station." That train leaves the station, I won't be afraid, 'cause I know where I'm going, my ticket is paid. Can't help but wonder what all I'm leaving behind. Will I leave my own mark, or will it just fade? Will anyone miss me, or the memories we made? When that train leaves the station, will I even be on your mind?
future comes with, we want it to wait. Every choice laid before us is choosing our fate. But I worry, will mine be the sum or the difference of all my mistakes? 'Cause oh, it's just so hard to breathe and so cold. But I don't want to leave, we're getting older now, even if that's not how it seems. And I got the letter you sent from the sea, the formal farewell you thought that I'd need. But the truth of the matter is it was only a matter of time. To those old Roman roads, follow your lead to the next stepping stone. Oh, I thought I could be, 'cause from beginning to end, the only difference it seems is a direction of the land. Oh, it's just so hard to breathe and I'm cold, falling low to my knees. I'm getting older now, even if that's not how it seems. And I know you got somewhere to be, so don't call. All you'll get is the beat. I'm just trying to sleep, hoping whenever I wake, this will all be a dream. Well, I can't stop thinking, am I even treading this water, or am I just sinking? 'Cause life is coming fast, and I don't want to lose it. Don't want to be left in the past. Yeah, life is coming fast, and I can't miss a moment, 'cause for all I know, it could be my last. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. Get home safe.